Hello, and welcome to part 2 of the Big Sis Advice. So today, what we're going to be talking about in part 2, more of friend stuff. So pretty much how you can determine if your friend is toxic, if you have a healthy relationship or not, how you can help a friend if they're struggling, and how to stop comparing your own accomplishments to other people's. Also, how to be motivated, how to be consistent with healthy habits, how to overall just feel more confident in yourself. So that's pretty much everything we're going to be talking about later. So if that interests you, keep listening. But first, chatting all about my week. This week, I was making money moves. Okay, guys, I don't know what went over me. I kind of just decided, well, not necessarily decided, but I kind of had an epiphany where I was like, I like shopping. I like buying stuff, but I don't really have money. And I was like, how can I make money without having to do a real job? I mean, I have this, but I was like, what's something that I can do that's easy? Okay, so I started a Depop shop. 1, because I also was going to clean out my closet anyway, and 2, because that didn't seem hard at the moment. I was like, oh my god, so fun. I'm going to make so much money. So I think I maybe have made less than $50, but because if you include shipping, that takes out money, and then Depop takes money because obviously you're using their platform. So then it's not as much as you actually think. But in 1 week of having a Depop store, I did sell 3 things, which was pretty exciting. So I was kind of proud of myself. But if you want to see some of my clothes, you can follow me on Depop at Carmen Applegate. But yeah, you should definitely check it out. Most stuff is size extra small. Just keep it in mind. Also, I'm like 5 foot, so things that are normal length on me might be short on other people. So keep that in mind. But that was a fun little adventure for me to figure out. I like doing new things and kind of figuring them out, you know? I didn't realize, though, that it would take me 2 hours to take, like, quote-unquote product photos, I guess. So that definitely took a while. Listing all the things took a while. I truly don't know how people sell, like, 100 things a day on Depop, because making the listing takes so long. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but it honestly is a lot of work. But it was kind of fun going to the post office and dropping off packages and being like, oh my gosh, woohoo! Even though, like, technically it isn't that much money, but it's better than nothing, okay? And if I'm not going to wear the clothes, I'm getting to clean out my closet, so might as well. I mean, and then also this week, I bought just a lot of stuff. I was kind of going on like a little shopping, I was having a shopping moment this week. This is why I was like, okay, I need to make money and have money, you know? But to be fair, most of the stuff that I bought was with money that people had given me for Christmas or my birthday, or was like a gift card. So I think I only actually spent out of my money like $50. So I think that's pretty good. But I got a really cute dress. It is floral print and it has like a deep V and poofy sleeves, and it's a mini dress and it's really cute. And that was from Free People. And then I got some stuff from Urban Outfitters. Very, very basic, but whatever. And yeah, so definitely a lot of shopping this week. But also, that's kind of because in the middle of the week, I had a snow day. And my school decided, because apparently we only get 1 snow day a year, that then now the other snow days are going to be online school days. Which I'd rather go actually to school, but it ended up being fine because no teacher wanted to actually sit for an hour and do online school, because that's just painful for everyone. So it actually wasn't that bad. I got to spend some time watching Euphoria. If you haven't watched it, so good. If you don't have HBO Max, find a friend who does. That's what I did. Honestly, very entertaining. Everyone on the show kind of makes me mad, and it's very relatable in an unrelatable way. Like, everything they're doing, have not experienced, is not relatable, but how they feel, yeah, that's relatable, and I understand. Do I understand, like, some of the stuff the main character does? Like, with her drug issues, is that relatable to me? No. But somehow, it still is. Also, glittery makeup, so fun. I told my sister I was watching it, and she told me she watched the first episode, and that it was overrated, and she didn't like it. And I was like, that's because you don't have HBO Max, but okay, sis. Also, new season of Too Hot to Handle. So good. My brother and I love Too Hot to Handle. We'll watch it together. He's at boarding school, though, so I haven't watched it, but it is so entertaining. It's, like, the dumbest thing ever, and I swear every season is the same, but who cares, because it's, like, trash TV, and it's so good. Also this week, I've had a weird obsession with baths. Is that the plural of bath? Is it just, I've had a lot of baths. Okay, that was stupid, it's baths. But I don't know why, but I've been, like, so stressed and not been able to fall asleep. So, for some reason last night I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a bath. And the magical thing about taking a bath is that you can put, like, candles, and then if you put a laptop at, like, the edge of the bath, then you can watch TV in the bath. And that was just kind of a mind-blowing experience for me, and I might have done it, like, twice this week. But also, oh my god, I feel like I'm talking about shows so much, but truly this week, I watched a lot of TV. Literally nothing interesting happened to me, but I watched a lot of TV. This is on HBO Max. It's a show by Mindy Kaling. I think that's her name. It might be the funniest show I've ever watched, and it is genuinely so relatable. It's called The Sex Lives of College Girls, and it is so funny, and the episodes are short, which is good. It's about 4 roommates, and, like, their little adventures that they go on, and it is so funny, and I don't know, that show just was making me pee my pants. But 10 out of 10, recommend everybody watches that one, because very entertaining. Also this week I've been trying to read Outlander. I've watched the show, but reading the book has been a struggle. I think I have been reading it for over 2 weeks now, and I'm not even halfway through, and it might just be because I know exactly what's going to happen that I can't motivate myself to be like, oh my god, I wonder what happens next. And also the chapters are obscenely long for absolutely no reason, and it's just hard to get through. Also, the book just has none of the spicy parts that are in the show, which was a bit of a letdown. I'm just trying to finish it though, but I feel like if I hadn't watched the show, I'd like it, but I have watched the show, and I can't really motivate myself to, read a book after I've watched the show. That's like, I can't read books more than once. I can barely watch shows more than once. I can watch some movies multiple times. But shows I can't watch all the way through. I think I've only watched like 3 shows all the way through. But that was literally only because I was in middle school. Me saying this when I literally rewatched Rain for the 3rd time, like 2 months ago. Anyway, JK. Okay, but now we're gonna get into some questions. If you have a business, you need a website. What's the best way to get a website up and running? Choose a network hosting company that makes it simple, like Pair Networks. Pair has over 20 years of experience managing the entire digital ecosystem for thousands of online businesses all around the world. Pair makes it easy for you with do-it-yourself website building tools and features, including simple drag and drop page design. And they have guaranteed US-based support technicians ready to help you whenever you need it, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Right now, when you sign up with Pair Networks, you'll receive 1 free month of web hosting. See for yourself how easy it is to build your website for free. Visit pair.com/free to get your first month of website hosting for free by using the code QUICKSTART. That's pair.com/free, promo code QUICKSTART to get started today. How do I know if my friends are good for me or not? So pretty much, I guess, recognizing if you have a toxic friend. Well, I would say if a friend is good for you, obviously you're allowed to fight. You're allowed to argue. You're allowed to have disagreements. It's not supposed to be perfect. But this friend is hopefully a good friend, is someone who will bring you up, someone you can rely on, someone who is maybe good to your family, is good to you, is someone who's not going to flake on you if you have plans, is someone who can give you advice, is someone who makes you feel good when you hang out with them. I think it's just all about how you feel around them. If you feel like they're making you your best self, rather than if you feel like someone is making you someone you're not, or maybe someone you don't want to be. I think that's also important. But sometimes it's hard to realize if a friendship is good for you or not, because maybe at one point it was good, but now it's not, right? And that's okay too, because people change. People change all the time. Let's say I was best friends with someone a year ago and it was a good friendship. That doesn't mean right now, a year ahead, that we're still going to be good friends for each other, right? Because we have both changed over the year. So I think it's hard to determine whether a friend is good or not because it's always changing. You might have one friendship that was so good, you guys were BFFs, and then next thing you know, you guys are strangers and you don't even know each other, or you're toxic and it's not going well and this person is making you upset all the time. But again, vice versa. You might have someone who's like, you're like, I literally hate this person, but now you're besties. So I feel like it's always changing, but overall, if the person doesn't make you feel good, if you don't feel good about yourself and about what this other person has been like saying or doing around you, then maybe they aren't necessarily a good friend for you. And whatever you do about that, or however you decide to handle that, I would say is up to you whether you want to keep a friendship or not. What should I do if I feel like my friendship with someone isn't as strong as it used to be? Again, like I was saying, people grow, people change, people often drift apart. If you guys have different ideas of what the future is going to look like, it's kind of like a relationship in a way, like a dating type of relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend thing, you know? So I feel like, again, it goes back to, do I still want to be this person's friend? Are we still good for each other? Are we still good to be friends? Because often that's not true. Or maybe you're just drifting apart because you live in different places. But sometimes I feel like it's because you're becoming two different people versus being like pretty much like one person. You're besties. You're together all the time. You guys hang out every day versus barely seeing each other at school, just saying hi once a day in the hallway. And that's kind of hard because especially if you knew someone and you knew them and felt like they were part of your family and were like a family member, and then going to have them as a stranger can definitely be mentally taxing and difficult. And I think that's perfectly valid and perfectly okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to rebuild your friendship. You need to get things back to what they used to be, because often that's not realistic. You can't always get something back to what it used to be because it's never going to be how it was. Like, things are always changing. People are always changing. The circumstances are always changing. So I don't think it's really realistic to be able to get something back to where it was. I mean, sure, you can still be friends and you can still hang out. But then again, like, it's not going to be what it used to be. Your friendship can evolve, though. It can change into something maybe better or maybe something that's not quite as strong. But it all just depends on how hard you're willing to work for it, how much you actually love this person. And I think that's something really important to honestly think about. How do I cover a hickey? So this one is being inserted in the middle. Is it the first question on my list? Yes, but I wasn't about to start that because we're trying to weed people out at my mom's friends that tell me that they listen to this, because that is embarrassing and I don't want to have to deal with hearing this. How do you cover hickey? Wow, great question. So, funny story. Someone I know, someone who is close to me, who is not me, but may or may not be my younger brother. Hypothetically, if I have a younger brother, just kidding, I do. It's not about him. But let's say hypothetically, you're in a situation where you and someone do stuff, right? And you wake up and you're like, oh my God, crap. There's a giant bruise on my neck, because that's what it is. It's a bruise. You're like, this is so embarrassing and I don't want to tell my mom. Even though your mom will probably just make fun of you and laugh at you and be like, you're so stupid. Why did you get a hickey? Like, are you an idiot? And you're just like, oh my God, Mom, please stop, right? But first thing you could do, if you have a close sibling that you're close to, you could ask them to borrow makeup. If you are someone who owns makeup, use your own makeup. If you don't own makeup, get some from your mom. If you have tinted sunscreen, tinted moisturizer, pretty much what you're going to do is try to conceal it, right, with makeup. And often you can still kind of see it because you have to do some color correcting thing. But if you don't have that because you're however many years old, or you're not really a makeup person like me, well, wear a sweatshirt. Find something to cover it, cover your neck. Because nothing is worse than being out in public and feeling someone stare at your neck, or being at school. Because I've seen people at school with hickeys, and it is so funny, and I will vigorously make fun of them without feeling bad. So you don't want to be faced with people like me who are going to make fun of you, right? So try to cover it up as much as you can. If you're someone who wears scarves, wear a scarf. If people won't think that's weird, or if it's winter, best thing that was ever invented, turtlenecks. Wear a turtleneck. You can wear one of those turtlenecks that's kind of like an undershirt, I guess, turtleneck, and then wear a sweater over it, so people are like, oh my God, you're so cute and stylish, and you're like, oh my God, yeah, I am, right? But it's actually, no, you have a hickey. And that's if it's on your neck. If it's anywhere else, that's probably easy to cover because clothes, right? There you go. Carmen's hot tips for hiding a hickey from people so you don't get vigorously made fun of. Now back to friend drama. Okay, just because we had to like add that one in there. Sorry, that is so funny to me. I saw that one and I was like, of course I'm including this because I gotta help the girls out. The girls, the guys, anyone, the theys, gotta help everyone out with that one. How can I help, or how can I support a depressed friend, especially when they don't think they deserve it? I think the hardest thing to go through, or one of the hardest things, is to see someone that you love kind of suffer with that mentality, and to see someone, a friend, a family member, just not feeling their best, and it kind of feels hopeless because you're like, what do I do? Obviously, like, I'm sure that they love me, but they're not really listening to me, or they don't necessarily want to help themselves. And I feel like the main thing to realize is that this isn't your responsibility to make them better, right? It's up to them, and they're the only ones who really have control of the actual situation. It's not like you can say something and then automatically they're going to be like, oh, I'm not depressed anymore, or I'm not going to kill myself today. I mean, obviously you can say things to bring someone back down to make them feel better, but in the long run, it's not up to you for handling them. And I think that's the most important thing to really think about, that it's honestly up to the person. I mean, you can do your best to help them, to encourage them to get help, to get support, whether it's from asking for support from friends or from family, or from going to a therapist, or telling them to go somewhere where they can be diagnosed with stuff so then they can get prescribed medicine and hopefully be better. But I think the best thing you can do is just to be there for someone, because it's honestly really hard, to be with someone who isn't feeling their best or who doesn't value themselves, especially when you know how great they are. And it really does hurt too when it's a family member, because you're like, what do I do? And honestly, it can be very frustrating, because if someone is sleeping all day or not doing anything all day, it's like, what do I do to help them? But also, like, you're pissing me off. And it's kind of hard to understand, like, what do you mean you can't get up every day? What do you mean you can't get up in the morning or like at 10 a.m. like a normal person? Why can't you do that? And I think it's really hard sometimes to understand what the other person is going through. And it's also kind of hard to understand why someone wouldn't want to be helped. And I think that really just has to do with not valuing themselves. And again, there's nothing you can do about that. You can only encourage people. You can be kind to them and try to support them the best they can. But it's honestly up to them for wanting to help themselves and for wanting to improve themselves, if that makes sense. Recently, I've been struggled to stay motivated to do my schoolwork and hang out with friends. Do you have any tips for getting motivated? Yes, I do. Motivation. Such a struggle, right? Because, I mean, here's the thing, y'all. You're never gonna be motivated 24/7. You're never gonna feel like, oh my gosh, yay, today, or, I mean, sure, you might feel like this once in a while, but most days, it's not gonna be like, oh my god, today is my day, I'm gonna be so productive, I'm gonna get everything done, I'm gonna start my homework early. What? Oh my god, do homework early? I'm gonna be proactive? What? Yeah, like sometimes you might feel like that, sure. But most of the times, it's going to be, I'm going to sit in my bed and watch this episode of a show for hours. And then it's like 10 p.m. and you're like, oh my god, I haven't done my homework. Which I guess is kind of procrastinating. But then also sometimes it's just hard to get up and to feel motivated to do something. So I think the thing that helps me is writing to-do lists. I talk about this all the time. I love writing to-do lists mainly because it's very satisfying to cross things off, right? And I love crossing things off. Another thing that helps me get motivated if I have to do stuff at home is to get ready for the day, to act like I'm going out. And I know people talk about this all the time, and it kind of sounds stupid, but honestly, it does help. Like if you're dressing for not pretty much laying down every day, so pretty much nothing that I'm wearing right now. Currently, my outfit is really embarrassing. It is 9 a.m., but that's okay. I have an oversized sweatshirt that's gray, and under that, I have a Patagonia fleece. It's not cute. It's not cute. And then also, I have blue sweatpants on. So I am not dressed for success today. And this is what not to do, what not to wear if you're hoping to get things done, which is me today. And I'm not really setting a good example. I personally feel like I'm contradicting myself, but hypothetically, in the best possible world, if I wanted to get stuff done, I would dress for success. Dress for looking my best, feeling my best. But I'm not doing that today. But anyway, so dress like you feel like you're gonna get work done. Personally, if I want to get work done, I will wear like semi-uncomfortable pants. This is so weird. As in pants that aren't stretchy. Because then I feel like I can't lay in my bed in those types of pants. And I feel like I actually have to get stuff done. So like pants that have a zipper, I'm like, oh, I don't like those. Like jeans, okay? Wear jeans and a sweater. And then do a little bit of makeup, but not too much. And do your hair and sit at a desk or your kitchen table. Pretty much anywhere but your bed. Make your bed so that you can't go in, or so that you feel bad if you do, because then you're like, oh my god, I have to unmake my bed to get into it, and I already made my bed, and that's going to make me feel bad about myself because I shouldn't be in my bed. It's like 3 p.m., right? So pretty much it's kind of about making yourself feel like if you do anything else but the work that you have to do, that you would feel bad. And I feel like this is not a good rule of thumb, but personally, that's how I motivate myself, by providing the work that I need to do as a better option than feeling bad about myself for going in my bed at 3 p.m. when I have a bunch of work to do. Okay? Is that healthy? I don't know. It works for me though. But main thing besides that, dress for success. Look nice. Don't just wear sweatpants. Don't be like me right now, okay? Because if you gotta get stuff done, might as well look good too. Even if you don't have to get stuff done, if you just dress nice and actually put yourself together and put effort into getting yourself ready in the morning, you'll feel better and you'll feel more productive. I think it also helps if you clean your space, if there's not a bunch of crap sitting around in your room or on your desk or anywhere that you might be working at the moment. But yeah, clean up your space. I don't remember what the saying is. It's like clean space, clean mind, clean room, clean mind. I don't know. But if you remove the clutter on the outside, it helps to remove the clutter on the inside, as in your brain, as in you'll be more focused to do things. But again, it's not really realistic to feel motivated 24/7, to feel like you want to do something all the time, because obviously we need breaks. And sometimes you're going to have to force yourself to do things when you aren't feeling motivated. And that's why I suggest making to-do lists, probably not doing stuff in your room. I had to do this yesterday because I had to do some reading for my English class. It was the absolute last thing I had to do. I don't like the book. It's boring. It's about a bug. And it doesn't make sense. Like, I understand what's happening, but it just is so ridiculous that I'm like, this is stupid. But apparently it's one of the most world-known short stories. And I don't understand, but that's okay. But anyway, to motivate myself to read, I was like, okay, I can't read in my room because I'm going to get distracted by my computer and want to watch Euphoria. So I was like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, I can't sit on my desk because that's where my computer is. I can't sit in my bed because obviously bed, and I'll just lay down and watch TikTok on my phone for hours. Did I end up doing that yesterday? Yes, I watched TikTok for hours, but I also got my reading done, which is a huge accomplishment. So thank you. Yeah, doing good. But anyway, what I did was I went downstairs to a room that I never sit in, that has nothing fun that you could possibly do in it. No distractions, not the kitchen, because I will get distracted and end up baking a cake or something. And I went into a room that has nothing fun to do, and all that I did was sit down and read. And I didn't bring my phone, I didn't bring my Kindle, I didn't bring a laptop, so I had no distraction but the book. But then my dad kept walking in and talking to me, so I guess he was a distraction. But the thing is, all you gotta do is remove yourself from the area or from things that get you distracted. Change your location, if that helps. So, 10 out of 10, recommend. Kind of going along with that, that is, wow, I cannot speak. Hashtag been talking for an hour now? What? Yo. Ayo, honestly might split this into 2 episodes and just have them be like 30 minutes because I don't know about you guys, but I cannot sit and listen to something for an hour straight. I'm sorry, that is so boring. And even if someone's talking about something that I like watching a show episode for an hour feels very taxing. And especially also if you're not watching on video, then it'd be like, what are you watching? Right? So, taking that into consideration, this might end up being 2 episodes, which will be really funny because watch me start the second episode with the Hickey question and people are like, Carmen, what? And I'm like, oh my god, guys, get it? Because it's so funny because it's in the middle of the episode, but it's not in the middle of the episode. It's actually at the end of the episode. Awkward. Anyway, tomato, corny, throwing tomatoes. Sorry, that's a TikTok sound. Also, I just didn't even know the words for it for like a very, very long time. I keep thinking about how part of my hair is blue, but like no one's gonna know. And I feel like someone might point it out, but anyway, okay. How do you motivate yourself to have healthy habits? So, honestly, right now, would I say that I have some healthy habits going? I drink water, if that counts. I've been good with my water. I've been pretty good with reading every day. Ooh, I just got a wave of nausea. That was fun. Wow, okay. I think for me, sometimes I do struggle with motivating myself to keep healthy habits. But I think I heard somewhere that if you can do something for 3 weeks, you just got to do it for 3 weeks and then it kind of becomes a habit and it becomes good. But the best thing I think you can do is to set aside time for yourself to do whatever it is you might want to be accomplishing. Oh, that was not a word. Accomplishing. So whether it's exercise or you want to read or I don't know what wow. This is why I don't record hour-long episodes. Whatever other thing you might want to be doing. So set aside time for yourself and make it the easiest possible thing. So create time for yourself. Create like a time block where you're like, okay, I set aside an hour for me to work out. I have nothing else during this time to do but work out. So make it kind of your only option. And it's easier if you get rid of barriers for yourself for working out. So whatever might deter you, me saying working out, even though I literally don't work out, whatever might deter you, kind of get rid of that. Let's use the reading example because that is the one that I'm good with. For reading, okay, I have a bunch of books in my room. Okay, they're in a bookshelf. The bookshelf is maybe 3 feet away from my bed. Too far. I am not going to walk up 3 feet to get a book. I'd rather go to bed. Here's the thing though. I also have a bedside table. And you know what I do? Put a book on the bedside table so I don't even have to get out of my bed to reach for a book. I can just stick my arm out and be like, book, and then I'll get a book, and then I can read the book. I feel like this sounds stupid, but honestly, you just gotta make it the easiest possible thing for yourself. So me, sitting in bed, especially if I don't have my phone next to me, because like I said in the beginning of the episode, or I don't know, in the episode from last week, depending on how I decide to do this, it's gonna confuse me talking about it. But my phone is on the opposite end of the room, right? So I can't go on my phone and I don't want to go to sleep. Oh my gosh, what else is there to do besides read on my Kindle? Oh my gosh, guess I have to read on my Kindle. Boom, healthy habit. Boom, complete. Boom, did that, right? I did that. Yeah, I did. Boom, shakalaka. Period. Wow, so good. So good. And now you have healthy habits. I don't know if that was the best way of explaining it, but there you go. Also, I got a new phone case, which no one can see. I'm looking at it right now, though. And it's very cool. I talked about it on my Christmas gift episode, and it's actually very cute. I thought it would be more textured, but it's not. But it's okay because my original phone case that I had, the design kind of wiped off of it. I don't really know. But now it's just kind of a clear phone case, which is weird. It's also broken and never protected my phone from cracking. The good thing I have a screen protector. But right now I'm just looking at it and it's so colorful. It's so pretty and I really like it and it's making me happy. And I feel like I look silly just staring at it because I'm recording on my phone. I just spit on my computer. That is so yummy. I'm just looking at my phone, so people are like, wow, why are you staring so intensely at me if you're watching on Spotify video or YouTube? And I'm like, girl, I'm looking at my phone case. Also, guys, can we just talk about how you can leave ratings on Spotify? That's pretty cool. Me saying this because that's what you should do. Anyway, okay, next question. I always feel like me and my friends are competing and often get jealous of their accomplishments. Everything that they have accomplished makes me feel like I'm not good enough. How can I stop comparing my accomplishments to others? Good question, Instagram person. I should have written down people's names, but I didn't want to do that because I thought people would get mad and be like, oh my god, why did you say my name? I don't want other people to know. I'm like, no one's gonna know it's you. There are like 10 million Alicias in the world. Not that many, I don't know. There's a lot, so maybe it's not about you, right? But whatever. Okay. I feel like it's really easy to compare yourself to others, and obviously everyone's gonna always compare themselves to others, but I think it matters about how you let that affect you, because you're always gonna be comparing what you do to what someone else is doing, so it's not really realistic to say, how can I stop comparing myself? But it's how can I stop comparing myself and stop letting what other people are doing affect me, right? Because sure, you can compare yourself to be like, okay, I just won a track meet and my best friend just won the All-A tournament in basketball. Me saying this, I literally don't play track or basketball. That is so funny. I don't know why I thought of that. But both accomplishments can be great in their own way, and it's not necessarily that they compare equally to each other. It is easy, though, to compare yourself if all your friends are getting good grades and you're not. But maybe they have tutors, or maybe they're just naturally gifted and you personally struggle in math. And what can you do about that, you might say, Carmen? Get a math tutor, whether it's a friend at school, maybe ask one of your friends, or it's actually like a paid tutor. If you can afford that, look at online videos. Like, you can always do things to improve yourself, because I feel like comparison can be good to a certain extent. If you're comparing yourself to seeing, okay, this is what other people are doing to succeed, okay, this is what I need to do to succeed as well. Not necessarily thinking, okay, someone did this, I have to do this, or someone did this, I feel so unworthy. Oh my god, why didn't I do this? Why do I just sit in my room and watch Netflix all day? I feel so bad about myself, blah blah blah. Because honestly, I'm gonna be blunt with you. No one cares about what you're doing, and no one cares about what I'm doing. So just focus on yourself. Focus on what you're doing. Sure, you can like compare yourself to others, but if you feel like it's not being beneficial, if it's not kind of motivating you to do better, then maybe find ways where you don't have to look at that much, or really think about, why is this affecting me so much? Why do I feel like my accomplishments aren't as good as someone else's? Because sure, you've accomplished your own things and that's great. And it might be different than what your friend has accomplished, but that doesn't mean that it's worse, or that doesn't mean that you're less than someone else. So I think that is also important to remember, is that your accomplishments differ and you can't really compare them equally. Also, I think it might also be telling that if you feel like so insecure about what you're doing, maybe you really need to kind of unpack that for a little and stop necessarily blaming this other person for doing so well or for doing what you think is good, because honestly, it's just would be your insecurities that are driving you to feel this way, driving you to feel like you're unworthy, to feel like you aren't good enough. So really, it's all in your head, And I think that's something to realize, is that why do I feel like what I'm doing isn't worthy? Why do I feel like I'm not good enough? Because you are good enough and you are worthy. And just because you're doing something different from your friend doesn't mean that you're less than. Also, it's important to hype people up. If someone is telling you about their accomplishment, tell them that's so great, that's so amazing, and don't feel like they're trying to rub it in your face, because sure, people might do that to brag, but most people are just trying to get reassurance that what they're doing is honestly great, and most of the times it is, and you should compliment your friends and be like, wow, that's so great, I'm so proud of you, I'm so happy for you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're bad because you didn't accomplish the same thing. Like, I don't know how to say this in a way that's nice, but you deserve stuff too. Like, just because your friend is doing something that's cool and great, that doesn't mean that you aren't cool and great. It's like on TikTok, how there's a bunch of influencers, right? And you can follow a bunch of people. Let's say, hypothetically, I'm following like 300 people on TikTok, and someone has 1 million followers and another person has 1 million followers, and technically they're quote unquote competitors. But the thing is, people on TikTok follow more than one person, right? So while you might think something is a competition, it's really not, and it's honestly more beneficial to work together, to collaborate, to get help from this person to help improve yourself, or to help someone else to help improve themselves. Share your expertise. You don't want to gatekeep stuff. There's always things on TikTok where people in the comments are like, okay, don't gatekeep what mascara you're using. Like, let us know, because gatekeeping is like so you can feel like you're better than other people, that you have something one up than someone else. And that's not really necessary, because you can be successful with other people being successful. Other people can accomplish things and you can accomplish things. It's not like, okay, my friend accomplished this, so therefore I don't accomplish anything and I suck. Like, that's not how it works. How can I improve my self-esteem? I have tried positive affirmations and saying stuff to myself in the mirror, but it doesn't help. What should I do? I definitely think that if positive affirmations aren't working, it's important to have a little convo with yourself, a little therapy sesh, and just really think about, why do I feel like I'm not worthy? Again, going back to what I was just talking about. Why do I feel like I'm less than? And whether it's journaling this, literally talking out loud to yourself. I love talking to myself. I have some of the best conversations, like what I'm doing right now, right? I'm literally talking to myself in my room by myself. I mean, you're listening, but other than that, it's not like I can see you. You can't see me. I mean, you kind of can if you're on Spotify video or YouTube, which, I mean, that just defeats what I was just saying. But improving your self-esteem, realizing you are amazing. And yes, you have flaws. You're allowed to have flaws. Nobody is perfect, as Hannah Montana says. Nobody's perfect, but you gotta work it, okay? You gotta work with what you got. And I think the main thing about beauty, if you're insecure about how you look on the outside, maybe you think you're not skinny enough, maybe you think your eyebrows are too big, or that you have man shoulders, I don't know. Just really realize that beauty comes from confidence, and that's confidence in the inside. Whether it's real confidence or fake confidence, whether you actually feel confident or you're just acting like it doesn't matter. Most people cannot tell the difference, and at one point you won't be able to tell the difference either, and you realize, okay, I'm actually amazing and I'm great. And if you tell yourself that, you will be. And if you have tried positive affirmations and they don't work, maybe that's because you really aren't believing it and you're just kind of not doing it to the fullest of your ability. But I think it does help, honestly, just telling yourself, having positive self-talk and telling myself, okay, I am good, and really separating yourself from the negative thoughts. I talked about this in an anxiety episode, but it's kind of helps if you name your negative thoughts or give your thoughts a name. So like, hypothetically, I guess Ralph. And let's say Ralph is the toxic white man in your head who's misogynistic and keeps saying mean things to you. And I was like, wow, you have no butt and no guy is ever going to like you. And you're going to be like, Ralph, shut up. Just because my butt might not be poppin', I'm still beautiful. I don't need a fatty to feel worthy, okay? And talk to Ralph in your head instead of keep bringing yourself down. It's better to separate your thoughts from yourself because it's not necessarily yourself. It's these negative thoughts that are influencing you. And if you can separate yourself from that, I think that is key. That is golden. Name your negative thoughts. Call them out. And kind of if Ralph is saying something rude to you, be like, Ralph, that's not true. I am great. I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am smart. And I am working hard to improve myself. And tell Ralph, literally suck it. Okay. Okay, y'all. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for sending in all your questions. I hope this helps. Let me know if you want more of these types of episodes. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram and TikTok at the Girly Girl Podcast if you want to keep up with me more throughout the week and be reminded of when new episodes are coming out. See some relatable content, motivational quotes, fun things, lots of pink going on. So if you want to see that, check me out at the Girly Girl Podcast. Also, make sure, like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, if you want some clothes, follow me on Depop at Carmen Applegate. I got some good clothes, and I have some of my mom's clothes that I'm getting rid of from the early 2000s. So if you like the Y2K stuff, I got you. And make sure you leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Yep, you can now leave ratings on Spotify. Super exciting, so make sure you definitely do that if you haven't already. And then also make sure you check out the link in my description to try out Pair. And I hope you all have an amazing week. Remember that you are beautiful inside and out. Love y'all.